Saving my first 100,000 took years. I was working, saving, investing small amounts, and it felt painfully slow. But something interesting happened after I crossed that number. My net worth started growing way faster. In the next 7 years, that snowballed to a $5 million real estate portfolio. In this video, I will show you the math that makes wealth explode after 100K, the strategy normal people use to turn 100,000 into 500,000 and then 1 million, and how you can build your own $1 million portfolio on a salary of just $45,000 per year. The math that changes everything. Before we talk about tactics, you need to understand one concept that drives almost all true wealth creation. Albert Einstein called it the eighth wonder of the world, and that concept is compound interest. In simple terms, it describes how money works like a snowball rolling down a hill. At the beginning, the snowball is tiny and slow, but as it rolls, it picks up more snow, becomes bigger, and start accelerating. Eventually, the snowball has picked up so much snow that it becomes unstoppable. When you start investing, even with just a tiny amount, your money earns returns. Then, as time passes, those returns start earning returns. And that effect repeats over and over again. And that's the returns you get become bigger and bigger. So here's the example, the journey to $100,000. Assume you invest $10,000 per year and earn only 7% annual returns. That's just about $833 per month. To reach your first 100,000, time required about 7.5 years. Money you contributed 76,000 and you earned interest 24,000. About 24,000 of your wealth came from investment growth. That is good, but it's not life-changing yet. Let's talk about the acceleration phase. To reach 200,000, total time becomes 10.5 years. That means only 3 more years, your interest jumps to 94,000. In the first 7.5 years, you earned 24,000 in growth. In the next 3 years, you earned 70,000. Almost 3 times more growth in less than half the time. Now, look at the next milestone. You will be surprised. To reach 300,000, total time becomes 13 years. So how much you contributed? Only 130,000. And interest earned 170,000. More than half your wealth now comes from growth rather than savings. Your money is working harder than you are. This is the tipping point where wealth starts accelerating. But if this sounds impressive, wait until you see what happens on the path to $1 million. The millionaire math. Let us continue with the same assumptions. Invest $10,000 per year, earn 7% annually. To reach 1 million, total time 30 years. Money you contributed only 300,000. Interest earned $700,000. So you invested $300,000 but ended up with 1 million. That extra 700,000 came from compound growth. This money your job never paid you. But here's the crazy part. It took 7.5 years to go from 0 to 100K, but it only takes 22.5 more years to go from 100K to 1 million. You go 10 times higher in only 3 times that time. That is why Charlie Munger said the first 100,000 is so critical, because once you cross it, the snowball starts rolling faster. But you might be thinking, whilst all of that sounds great, how do I actually get my first 100,000? Or is all this advice just for people who are already rich? Well, it might surprise you, but let's talk about how normal people reach $100,000. Most people think in fixed dollar amounts. They say, I need to invest $833 per month, which is a number that feels impossible for many people. But there is a better way to think about it. Instead of thinking about the fixed amount, think about the percentages. Start investing with just 10% of your take-home pay. To make it easier, if you earn $50,000 per year, your take-home might be about $3,500 per month. 10% of that amount is $350 per month. That amount is manageable. Then as you progress in your career, you can slowly increase the amount that you invest, but keep that percentage the same. Let's go through an example. Year 1, your salary was $50,000. invest $350 per month. Year 5, your salary bumps to $75,000, invest $525 per month. And year 10, if your salary reaches $100,000, invest $700 per month. Your investing naturally scales with your career. And to make this even simpler, I like to follow the 1% trick. You might ask, what the 1% trick? Put simply, all you need to do is increase your investment rate by 1% every year. Then what happens? Year 1, you are investing only 10%. Year 2, you are investing 11%. What about year 3? You are investing 12%. Now you got the idea? After about 10 years, you reach a 20% savings rate. Now let me show you the difference. If there are two person 1 invest only 10% for next 30 years, final wealth become 1.4 million. What about the other person who increases savings to 20%? Final wealth become 2.3 million. That is a $900,000 difference created by just adjusting 1% per year. So now you know how much to invest to reach your financial goals. But where should you actually invest this money? Where most millionaires invest? I'm not a financial advisor, but many long-term investors, including myself, invest in low-cost index funds. An index fund owns hundreds of companies. So if you were to invest $100 into an index fund, your $100 would be spread out across all of those companies, making it super low risk because you aren't reliant on one company to succeed. You just need the economy to grow as a whole. So what are the examples? You can look into VTI, Total US Stock Market, VU, S&P 500 Index, VX US, International Stocks. The fees to invest in index funds are extremely low. If you invest $10,000, you might pay just $3 to $7 per year in fees. I personally invest 15% of my income into broad index fund. Another powerful investment tool is the Roth IRA, which I am really excited about. You invest your money after taxes, but every dollar of growth in your Roth IRA becomes completely tax-free forever. So if you invest $7,000 per year for 30 years and it grows to $700,000, you pay zero taxes on that growth. My favorite Roth IRA providers are Vanguard, Fidelity, and Schwab, and it takes just 10 minutes to open up an account. But as with any kind of investment, you need to be careful because there is one mistake most beginners make that destroys more wealth than almost anything else. So what is that? This is the actual wealth killers. Panic selling. A beginner invests $5,000. 3 months later, the stock market drops to 15%. Their account becomes $4,250. They panic and sell everything. They lock in the loss and miss the recovery. Every major market crash in history has recovered. 2008 financial crisis, market down about 50%, recovered in about 4 years. 2020 COVID crash, market down about 34%, recovered in about 5 months. Investors who stayed invested and kept buying became wealthy. Warren Buffett explains this very clearly. What did he say? The stock market transfers money from the impatient to the patient. The fee trap. Let us look at another silent wealth killer, that is fees. Assume $100,000 invested for 40 years. With a 0.1% fee, your portfolio grows to about 1.4 million. With a 1% fee, your portfolio grows to about 1 million. That tiny difference in fees just cost you $400,000. This is why low-cost index funds matter. What about the consistency factor? But the biggest difference between people who reach to 100,000 and people who never reach it is the consistency. And the easiest way to guarantee consistency is automation. Set automatic transfer from your checking account to your investment account. Schedule it on payday. So what happens? You never see the money, you never debate the decision, it simply happens every month. Let me show you a real life example. Sarah is a 4th grade teacher earning $45,000 per year. At age 25, she started investing 15% of her income, that is about $687 per month. She did not trade stocks or chase trends. She simply bought a total stock market index fund every month. She kept doing this for 35 years. At age 60, her portfolio reached to 1.8 million. She personally contributed only $288,000. The other 1.5 million came from compound growth. A teacher earning $45,000 became a millionaire through consistency and time. You learned all of this. So what is your action plan? Here is exactly what you can do in this week. Day 1, calculate 10% of your take-home income. Day 2, open a Roth IRA account. Day 3, choose a simple index fund like VTI or VU. Day 4, set automatic investing on payday. Day 5 through 365, do nothing and wait. Ignore market noise. Let compound interest work. So now you know how wealth compounds after the first $100,000. But the people who build wealth the fastest do not rely on only one strategy. They create multiple income engines, including real estate, stocks, and business income. That is exactly what I teach inside my entrepreneurship mastermind. I help professionals like you build diversified income streams using real estate, stocks, and online businesses without quitting their jobs. Click the link below to learn more if you are interested.